Hello and welcome to the first episode of In the Minds of Giants, where we're going to learn what some of the most amazing people around the world does concerning their habits, their knowledge, their thinking, and their actions to become so successful, right? People like Jesus, Gandhi, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, etc. We're going to deep dive and dissect the way they work and how they do stuff. So we can learn and we can apply some of those things for us because, as you might know, modeling is one of the key exercises you can do to improve your own life, to be more productive, to get where you want, in life, to achieve your dreams. And what is modeling all about is learning how successful people do what they do and copying whatever you can copy, right? So that's basically the idea, to have your own role models, just like we did when we were kids, right? We want to, I don't know, maybe you wanted to be a basketball player and you were looking at LeBron James and all those guys, and you try to copy their movements and all this. So we kind of like lose this when we're adults, or we don't think about it when we're talking about the business world, and that's a very important activity actually for us to do, to understand how those successful people work and apply to our own reality. And for this first episode, we have a very special person that we're going to be analyzing, none other than Mr. Steve Jobs himself, right? But what we are going to do differently from every other YouTube channel is that instead of basing our thoughts in a biography, like we have the biography of Steve Jobs or some book, and what most channels do is like they just read the biography and they bring you a summary. We're going to do something very different, which is we're going to watch these people working the way we can, okay? And we are going to dissect that moment when they're working and how they communicate, what are their thinking, what are their attitudes towards the what they're bringing. So that's the idea. Instead of basing ourselves in some biography or some book, we're going to base ourselves in their work, right? And for me, that's completely different from every other initiative like this one. And why is that? Because when you have someone writing the story of, let's say, Steve Jobs, you already have kind of like a filter, and you have bias there. And the journalists usually write books that they have like a mindset of their own, and when they listen to something that these people are saying, they write in their own words, and not exactly how that person meant. And that's very important, even in the case of Steve Jobs, because I don't know if you know, this is the let's say official biography from him, from Walter Isaacson, which is an amazing writer. He has built the biographies of so many great characters in our lives. But the widow of Steve Jobs, she was so mad with this biography, and it got out just like when he died, that she hired some guys to do another biography called Becoming Steve Jobs. I don't know if you knew that, but that's how it goes, because for her, the words used here doesn't represent exactly the Steve Jobs she knew, And these guys took a very different approach, They went to talk with a lot of people who worked with them, with him, etc. So that's why we cannot be based on either one. We need to make our own conclusions. And the idea of this channel is to be a co-creation channel, okay? It's not that, of course, I'll be dissecting here in this video, but I hope you guys can contribute with your own ideas and perceptions in the comments, So this way we can enrich our analysis of both the companies that we do in the other series of the best of the best, and also here inside the Mind of Giants, right? So let's go. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, to turn on the notification, and share with your colleagues, okay? Share with your colleagues if they want to know how to work better and how to improve their lives. So let's watch Steve Jobs working, okay? And for do this analysis, and this analysis will always take longer than one video because I don't want to like be boring and make you watch a video for too long. We're going to have a longer series. So probably in this series of Steve Jobs, I'm still analyzing the moment he's working that we are choosing. But I think we'll have like something around 6 or 8 videos about Steve Jobs, okay? And of course, there couldn't be any other moment that I could choose in his career than the launch of the original iPhone back in 2007, because this was a hallmark in technology. It was a breakthrough presentation, you know. Actually, this product brought Apple out of the ashes and made it become the largest company in the world, right? So there's no other way to start with understanding who Steve Jobs is kind of like obvious. So what we're going to do is I'll always show some part of the video that I think is useful, and I'll be doing the analysis, and then I wait for your comments on the comment area here in YouTube. And for this first part, of course, we're going to start from the beginning, right? And we're going to watch like 3 minutes of this presentation and bring our conclusions. I'll be making some comments on whatever he's talking, okay? So let's go. There's a drama there.
I've been looking forward to for 2.5 years.
Can you imagine that? He was waiting for 2.5 years, and look who he is.
Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along.
He's setting the bar high. A product that changes everything.
And Apple has been, well, first of all, one's very fortunate if you get to work on just one of these in your career. Apple's been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world.
Wow.
1984.
You see who Apple is.
Macintosh.
Right?
It didn't just change Apple. It changed the whole computer industry. In 2001, we introduced the first iPod. And it didn't just change the way we all listen to music. It changed the entire music industry. Well, today, we're introducing 3 revolutionary products.
Wow. Can you imagine that? From 1 to 3 revolutionary products?
Is a widescreen iPod with touch controls.
It doesn't seem revolutionary, right? It's just an iPod, an improved iPod.
The second is a revolutionary mobile phone.
Let's wait to see what that is.
And the third is a breakthrough internet communications device.
What does that mean? You see the applause reduced,
3
right?
things. A widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not 3 separate devices. This is one device.
Wow.
And we are calling it iPhone.
Wow. I don't know about you, but I'm impressed. It's so impactful. Those first 3 minutes of the presentation, right? And this presentation, I keep coming back every year, because it's so powerful. We're going to deep dive on it, and but the first thing I want to bring to the table here is and to our analysis is this. You see, the iPhone is here on the screen, right? The name. And you got this very important stuff over here, which is the time. Check out the time, okay? It's such a precision. It's surgical, right? The time that he mentions the iPhone, right? It's 3 minutes. So in 3 minutes, he made one of the most powerful pitches ever, right? Ever. I can think of another pitch more important to mankind, right? And so powerful. So the timing of his pitch is the first thing that we need to be aware. Now, why is a pitch important? Everything we're doing is basically pitching, right? Everything we are doing is pitching. So you want to date someone, you're pitching. Even if you're inside Tinder, let's say, you're pitching. You want to be hired for a job, you need to pitch yourself. You want to marry, you need to pitch for your girlfriend. You want to build a new product, you need to pitch for investors, for consumers, etc. So pitching is probably one of the key abilities that we must develop. And sometimes we are not aware of its importance, And one of the keys for a great pitch is the timing. And Steve Jobs picks the perfect timing. He has 3 minutes. It's the famous story of the elevator pitch. If you meet someone that is very important in the elevator, what can you say during your ascendance, right? Inside the elevator. So Steve Jobs does that perfectly. And some people say that he reread and he tested this. Some people say he trained this presentation for over 500 times because it was so important for him, right? And that's something we can already add on our own mindset. When you're doing something that is very, very important, you need to train a lot. As we can see on athletes, they train a lot before going into Olympics that is starting in a few days. From this recording. And so the first thing is everything we are doing is pitching, and the timing of the pitch is so powerful, so important. Okay, those are the first parameters or characteristics that I see in his presentation that I wanted to bring to you. Okay, the second characteristics that I see in this presentation, this first 3 minutes, is about the revolutionary aspect of this new product, right? So he mentions revolutionary products in the past, and he mentions a revolutionary product on that day to be presented. And that's something very powerful that I see every innovator has this mindset, is that you don't have an incremental mindset. Okay? None of those guys have an incremental mindset. All of those guys, they have a revolutionary mindset. We'll be watching some other guys working, but think about Steve Jobs or Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. Those guys that have the revolutionary mindset. They're not talking, hey, let's do some innovation and increment something and improve something. No, they're talking about revolution. And that's something you need to bear in mind, that innovation, the real innovation, okay, not only, let's improve our operational excellence and efficiency, whatever. Real innovation is about revolution. Okay, real innovation is about revolution, and you can revolutionize maybe your own industry. You know, you can bring like an old concept of sales that works in several other industries, and you're bringing to your own industry, and you're revolutionizing the way you sell inside your industry. That might be innovation. It might not be something new because you're building on your own repertoire, right, from other cases and whatever, but you're bringing a revolution to the market, to your own market, okay? And innovation is about revolution. And those guys, as big as Steve Jobs, they have a revolutionary mindset. Those guys, they're not happy with like an improvement. They want to see the revolution, okay? And that's a mindset we need to have. Think about it. If in your daily job, instead of thinking, hey, how can I make this better? You were every day thinking, how can I make this revolutionary? How can I not work anymore? How can I change completely the way I work? I once thought about this. You know, I was doing like Excel sheets every day, the same thing, and I was thinking, you know, I don't want to do that every freaking day. You know, it's so boring. So I started building like macros and VBA and coding inside Excel and all this, and revolutionized the department. You know, so that's the revolutionary mindset you need to acquire. Okay, think about revolution, not increments or improvements. Okay. Now, the other thing that Steve Jobs brings to this talk is about how he positions himself and Apple, right? So he starts with humility, you know, and he says, "Oh, you know what? Sometimes a product comes along, and Apple was very fortunate. Look, you see, he doesn't use the words, you know, because I'm here at Apple, we managed to do this and that. Why? Because selfishness, I don't know if that is even a word. Maybe you can correct me. Selfishness, I don't know. Okay, something like this. Disengages. Okay? This, when you're like self-centered, you disengage people, right? But when you're humble, okay, when you're humble, just like he was, right? When you're humble, you connect, okay? When you're humble, you connect. When you're selfish, you disengage people. So he uses a very specific word, you know, Apple was fortunate. So, you know, something happened in the universe that chose Apple to be the one who brought those three products into the market. Okay, so he was humble because he was trying to connect with people, and he also mentions that it's very hard for you to work on one, and Apple managed to work on three. So the second thing he brings in this talk is the authority for Apple, right? Now you know who Apple is. You know, although is humble, is also has authority, right? So those are things you need to be connected with. When you read something about like servant leadership and all this new leadership concepts that are coming along, especially the work of John Maxwell, he always talks about that. You know, you need to have an authority for people to follow you, but you also need to be a humble leader so people get connected to you. And Steve Jobs, he uses the perfect words. The wording of his speech is perfect to show this: humility, authority. Okay, who we are. We changed three industries, and that's something really cool that also connects with what we were talking about, the revolutionary mindset, right? Three different industries, you know. So two he was presenting, and the third one he was going to present on that day, right? And he also makes something very interesting, right? He does like this. You have the chance to work on one. We actually build a few, right? And we're introducing three, but actually it's just one, right? He does that, right? You have sometimes the chance to work on one product. We have the chance to present a few, and today we're introducing three. So you get the bar very high, But then you kind of like blow everybody's mind. He blows everyone's mind when he says, it's not three products, it's just one, right? So this is amazing. It's the perfect pitch, in my opinion. And finally, the last thing he does in this presentation that I would like to highlight for you is the use of the golden circle. You probably know this concept. If you don't know, here in the description there's the TED Talk from Simon Sinek. And Simon says, you know what? You need to start with the why, the cause, your purpose. Why do you do what you do? Okay. Then you go to the how, and most companies know how they do stuff. And then you bring the what. So, what Steve Jobs does in the narrative, in the storytelling that he chooses for this presentation, is exactly this. Uh, we revolutionize industries with technology. That's their purpose, right? And how? How did we do that? Introducing new products. Okay. So first thing, when he's starting, he talks about why they do what they do. You know, we revolutionize industries through technology. And why, right? Why? Because he believed, and that's Apple's purpose, that technology can enhance our minds, and we can become like better human beings with technology. That's why they do what they do. And how do they do that? So they present new products, okay, new products, and that defy those categories, right? And what are they doing today? Right, today he's introducing the iPhone, right? So why, how, what? So it gets straight to your emotional level. He's taking you to another level with this storytelling approach with the golden circle. Let's go to the revolution. Let's see how people's lives changed with the products that we already introduced. Okay? And now let's bring a new product to the market. Right? So this is the first analysis from Steve Jobs. His pitch is perfect in my opinion. So timing for a pitch, the importance of a pitch, revolutionary mindset, humility and authority, and the golden circle is the way to go if you want to communicate clearly and to actually revolutionize the way you communicate with people and within your own organizations and your team. And I hope you enjoyed this analysis, and next week we're here for more.